Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Chris. I'm back with an excellent opportunity for a company that I actually reviewed a few months ago. Well, actually, how long ago? 11 months ago. There it is. And it's OLLO.
OLLO is
Now, if you saw the video that I did for this, let me see if I can run up the steps. I think I got like a scene of me running up the steps in no bull.
really they actually
Right. And then I got a scene of me running up the steps in the OLLOs.
How long it's gonna take the shoe to break in?
Yeah, so, and I need to get to the part where I'm actually running, man. Quit yakking.
So
Alright, so what's the point? I don't do parkour. That's the point. But who is OLLO? Now, I should have a link to the website here, and I'm going to click it and open up that link so you can see what the brand is. What is this video about? I've been rambling for like 35, 40 seconds, and I haven't explained to you what this is about. What it is if you've wanted to own a sneaker company, and if you've noticed on a lot of videos, I've said, man, please stop making shoes. Everybody quit making shoes. We have more than enough shoes in the world. We don't need any new shoe companies. But for me to say that is not right. I mean, if you want to create something, who am I to say that you shouldn't create anything? But I'm thinking about sustainability and the fact that these shoes have to have an end of life. And I start getting into these philosophical discussions, and that's not what I need to do. You may come up with the next great thing. You may come up with the next great brand. And it's not fair for me to say, don't start a shoe company. But if you want to invest in a startup shoe company, that's what you see here on the page right now. So when you look to my side, you see the Superhuman Project and you see the OLLO Nation, hashtag OLLO Nation and OLLO's mission. The company is amazing. That's not me being a goof or exaggerating. Now, the shoes that were in this video, my son actually took the shoes before I gave them away. But he took them and he took them to Miami, and he was like, man, when it rains, and it rains a lot in Miami, when it rains, I put these on even though they're not waterproof because I don't slip. And he has to carry a bunch of guitars because he's, in the music program at the University of Miami. But that's neither here nor there. We won't get into that. What this is about is an opportunity for you, anybody who's watching this, if it's 5 people to 10 to 50 people, it's an opportunity for you to have ownership of a startup sneaker company that's made over $1 million. The company, when you make a shoe, remember, I've had 2 shoe companies, so I'm not talking about this from some weird place of not knowing. You either have to bootstrap it, pull it out of your own pocket. I used a debenture share strategy with my family. I actually asked a few people, yo, give me some money and I'll give you some money back. That didn't work very well. We're not a rich family. But I did a little bit of that. You can do Kickstarter. I did Kickstarter in 2014 after I've been running the company 5 years out of my pocket. But Kickstarter, you get a reward, or you're simply helping because you want to help, or you get a reward for making an investment. Not an investment. I'm sorry. Don't let me say that. I'm changing that. I'm sorry. Kickstarter, you get a reward for supporting a new brand. Now, there have been a ton of companies that have ran Kickstarters. Even OLLO ran Kickstarters before. But to build your company out and really make it explode and grow, and this is what's wild. When you come back, and I think I want to turn this down and mute it so you don't see it. But you watch these videos, and OLLO has been on American Ninja Warrior, World Chase Tag, and I said all of this in the original video. But what they're doing right now is they're allowing individuals to invest in the company. Now, why is that important? Let's say OLLO catches fire. Right? World Chase Tag becomes a huge phenomenon, and now it's a multi-billion-dollar business, and OLLO is sponsoring a team there, and people are starting to rock with OLLO hard, and OLLO becomes a $10 million company. Right now, it's $1 million company, and it's a pre-money valuation of $4.6 million, and that's where the priced round is. If it gets to $10 million, you literally double the amount of money that you invest in this company. Wefunder is the site. So
More
let
and
me
more of
look at what
$31
Wefunder is and go
billion
in, and it
footwear
says
market
we help everyone
has
invest as
broadly
little as
embraced and
$100 in the
widely
startups they
distributed
love. You can think of
performance
us
lifestyle brand.
as Kickstarter
Our
for
roadmap is to
investing.
grow
Unlike
market share
Kickstarter, you're
through
not buying a
purposeful product
product.
design
You decide which
informed by
companies
our
are worthy of
authentic
funding,
relationship
and
with the
if the
superhuman
business does
athletes
well,
who
you'll make
dare to
money.
trust OLLO. We are
If
excited
you've
to
been
make
like, yo,
OLLO
I want to
public, and we
start
hope that you'll
a
join us as
company,
an early investor.
but I'm afraid to really throw my weight behind that. And there's nothing wrong with being afraid of starting a company, man. This is a hard thing to do as a private investor or as a person attempting to be an entrepreneur. But if you see the potential in another company, man, why not consider something like this? Now I'm showing this video a little bit more just to look at it, but you see the world chase tag, OLLO, and you see the dude does the, showing off of the jersey. OLLO is in this unique position where they don't want to take on debt. Investors are basically frozen. If you know what a SPAC is, right? When companies decide to go public, let's think about, since we're sneaker people, let's think about Hypebeast, right? Hypebeast is on the stock market in Hong Kong. But Hypebeast was preparing to go onto NASDAQ here in the US, where you could buy shares into Hypebeast, a blog, basically a blog, a lifestyle blog. But that they had to do it through what's called a SPAC. And because of the quarantine and because of, COVID, they pulled back and they didn't do the SPAC. So that SPAC was going to help Hypebeast raise more money to grow. I hope I'm explaining this in the right way. When you make an investment, typically you have to be a really rich person to gain the benefits of investing. And that's because the venture capitalists who invest in all of these different companies, what has happened lately is they are no longer investing. A lot of companies got in before things kind of started going bad. Now that interest rates are higher and all of these different things of the potential recession, venture capitalists are not doling out money the way they were. So OLLO, as good of a company as it is, OLLO's in this peculiar position where they don't have a venture capitalist who wants to come in and throw $1 million into the company. Why? You would have to ask the owner that. I think it would be well worth it. I think OLLO could become a really big company. They're doing a lot of the right things in the international market. Now, in the United States, parkour is not very big. It's just not. American Ninja Warrior is kind of, interestingly enough, if you watch American Ninja Warrior, you'll see on the feet of the athletes typically wearing New Balance. And I think there's a back end deal there. So you won't see OLLO as on the more prominent athletes on American Ninja Warrior. You won't see OLLO on those athletes. But if you look closely, the guys that are parkour guys that are going in, a lot of them are wearing the shoes. A lot of them. You have a chance to invest. Now, once you invest, obviously, you don't get your money back right away. Here are the people that are on the team for OLLO. It's just a really cool brand. And if you have the money to spare, never invest something that you aren't afraid to lose. Never invest something that you're not afraid to lose. And I'm talking too long, so I'm going to cut this short. And what I want you guys to do is use the links in the description to look through it and decide if you want to do this or not. I think it's worth the effort. I have not invested. I saw this and I was like, oh man, this is a cool thing to talk about. Maybe people need to see it. And it's an introduction to OLLO again, after I did a video 11 months ago. But it's also an introduction to Wefunder. And a lot of you guys out there you want to do your own sneakers things. You want to do all of this different stuff. Why is it saying my password? It's a good thing you can't see it. And you've been looking for a way to raise money, and you don't necessarily want to do a Kickstarter where you're going to be trapped into creating. And that's the big one. That's the big one. And I'm going to wrap it up after this. On Kickstarter, when you do a Kickstarter and you create rewards, you're immediately taking the money that these people have supported you with, and you have to build out the rewards. A lot of the money that you just got to kind of fuel your company, it's already taken away. Here, it's an investment. In investments, you do not see a return quickly. And I think everybody's gotten into this mindset where you think you get something back right away when you invest. That is not how investments work, man. Investments can take years before you see any cash back. Any. And in some instances, you may not see any cash at all. It may collapse and fall apart and you lose your money. And I'm not saying that's what's going to happen with OLLO. What I'm explaining is that you're being introduced to Wefunder. You're being introduced to OLLO. If you're a sneaker person and you're like, yeah, I think I want to own a part of a company. Here's an opportunity for you to own a part of a company, right? That's it. I think I'm going to wrap it up there. That's a lot. I talked for a long time. I hope you guys stayed with me that whole time. The new subscribers, I appreciate you, especially because I've been doing a lot of reading of the business books, and I'm going to get a lot more into that kind of thing because I think that we need to talk about this kind of stuff. Maybe I'll start trying to go live a little bit more. But this is a very cool opportunity to become part owner in a really cool and exciting sneaker company in
More
OLLO.
and more of the $31 billion athletic
That's it.
footwear market. As
Like,
a broadly
share,
embraced
subscribe,
and widely
and
distributed
I'll see you guys on the
performance
next video.
lifestyle
Whole lot going on.
Our roadmap is to
That's
grow
it.
market share
Peace.
with purposeful product design informed by our authentic relationship with the superhuman athlete.